There's growing concerns that the war that Israel is waging against Hamas could turn into a wider regional conflict. And the reasons for that can be seen over what's happened just in the last few days here in Israel, the Gaza Strip, and the wider Middle East. First of all, in Gaza, we've seen Israel continue just these pounding airstrikes targeting the Strip, which is home to some 2 million Palestinians. Now, the Israelis have urged Palestinians to go south to avoid these airstrikes, but even then, Israeli airstrikes are even hitting in the south in what they've described as safe areas previously, which has enraged Muslim nations and others sympathetic to the Palestinians. We've seen widespread protests largely in many countries around the world. Now, outside of the Gaza Strip, we're also seeing problems in Israel's West Bank, where Israel launched an unprecedented airstrike on Jenin, which saw a mosque destroyed and suspected militants killed. Now, the West Bank hasn't really seen that much militant activity, but it has been steadily rising in recent years, with Palestinian frustration over the fact that they still don't have their own state. Egypt and Israel have had a decades-long peace deal that have cemented basically the wider region, and that attack kind of drew into question what would happen if, for some reason, that peace deal was broken. And we've also heard from Egypt's president offering very harsh words about Israeli policy towards the Gaza Strip attacks, and has also raised the concern that Palestinians might be forced to leave Gaza and enter Egypt, something that the Egyptian president has said he does not want to see. Hamas is also suspected of receiving weapons from Iran as well. That's led a lot of Israelis to be concerned about this escalating into a war with Iran. Israel has waged, or is suspected of waging, secret attacks on Iran, including on its nuclear scientists as well as its nuclear facilities, as Iran enriches uranium closer than ever to weapons-grade levels, worrying the West. And there's still just the war in Gaza itself, the images of destroyed neighborhoods, wounded and dying children have really raised the anger of the wider Middle East. It's difficult to say what's going to happen next, but based on what Israeli military officials have said so far, the Israeli military at some point will launch a ground offensive into the Gaza Strip. This only happened twice before in the some 15 years that Hamas has ruled the Gaza Strip, and it really raises the risk for both Israelis as well as the Palestinian citizens still in Gaza. The reason is this. Though Israel has launched a lot of airstrikes that have destroyed high-rise buildings and potentially taken away possible sniper positions for Hamas, the rubble and everything strewn across the Gaza Strip makes it difficult for the Israelis to maneuver with their armored personnel carriers and their tanks. It also provides militants additional places to hide possible explosives as well as snipers and other fighters.